the vulnerability it shows you as a human being, though, being able to actually say, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think is something in life that we should all probably learn.
Yeah.
That, and not be afraid to say, hey,
I just don't
know.
I just don't know.
The development, and look at you now, though.
Yeah.
From Cuba, not being able to speak English.
Yeah.
Now you're on a smash hit TV show.
Yeah. And I say I still don't know things. Like, and they're like, what? You don't know? I'm like, I don't know. I'm really serious. Like, what are you talking about? Like, for example, I talk to my publicist this a lot, and I sometimes text him, like, what does this mean? Like, saints? Like American saints.
Oh, it's hard. I'm from Australia originally.
Oh, really?
It's really hard
Oh,
sometimes.
my
I'm like,
God.
what?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Like, the shit hitting the fan. Like, the first time I heard that, I'm like, the shit hit the fan? Like, that is horrible. And apparently it's like a big deal, and it's good.
If the shit hits
the
the fan,
that's bad.
major
That's
problem.
pretty bad.
But can you imagine that? Like, that is amazing. Like, when I first heard it, I was in a Thanksgiving dinner, and everything was so clean and beautiful. I was not in the apocalypse yet. So somebody stood up and said, it's so good to be here, so grateful to be together, because when the shit hit the fan, and I remember I was eating, I'm like, what? Like, I couldn't understand what that meant. Like, the shit in the fan in this table, it's not funny. I mean, I keep saying shit in this show.
It's fine,
okay,
babe.
Is that okay?
Bring it on.
The dogs don't mind.
Well, speaking of shit hitting the fan,
Yeah.
I want to dive right in to Fear of the Walking Dead, because I want to...
That's when the shit really hit the fan.
really hit the fan. And that's when, like, most people are like, you're dripping with blood.
Yeah.
You're a heroine. You're a badass bitch.
Yes.
And I want to, like, it's so the contrast is
It's
like
so different.
dainty and
Yeah.
beautiful and feminine, and like you're a boss.
I'm so glad I project that today, because
love-
usually for the entire year on set, I really don't project it.
So tell us about A, getting that cast in that role, and B, kind of like the journey with it, because it is such a community of fans.
Yes.
And they are so passionate about it.
Oh my gosh, we just got back from Comic-Con, and it was, every year it just gets more intense, like more like, this year I saw people dress as Luciana.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
wow.
was so cool. Like, when you like sitting, signing autographs, you have somebody in front of you dressed as your character.
Amazing.
That's like, I stood up, I hugged her, I almost cried. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, this is, I just finished shooting, and here you are, like, carrying this. What I really love about my character on this show is that it's a show that is not about glam. Like, it really takes away everything that can cover who you really are.
Yeah.
It's the apocalypse, so there's no social media, there's no Instagram, there's no internet. So it's like there's no real, like, money, cars, like the things that people can use to protect themselves, it's gone.
Yeah.
So what you have left is like your morals, like how can you survive, who do you deal with, who do you hang out with, like who are your tribe? And that's what I love about the apocalypse. Like, it's not just about zombies, it's about the real people and how they deal with it.
But that's you. Like,
Yeah.
So
I resonate with that. Like, I really care. I grew up in a country where, again, we have no, social media. Like, we really like straightforward, human to human. And when I got here and I'm in this universe now, I'm like, oh, I understand this. I know the price of water. I know what's like not to have things. It's and how you deal with that in your emotions. It's beautiful, and I think that's why our fandom are so raw. Like, I don't know other shows, but when a fan really comes to me, they're like, wow, they really go crazy. They're not like, oh, you're so nice.
They're like, oh.
They're very like passionate.
Did they think you're the character?
Yeah. Well, they think they want me to save them, and they want us to go together.
I'm sure they do. Looking like this,
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. They're like, save me.
Save me. So, but yeah, that's kind of like what I think. It's so incredible with the fans. They love it.
yeah. So, okay, girl, you are a triple threat. You are beauty, your brains, your brawn. You just have everything popping about you. And it's actually so nice to meet you in person, because it's very, very refreshing to see the difference from the character and who you are. And speaking of being a triple threat, you did a short film where you produced and directed. It's La Cura, right?
I wrote La Cura.
La
Yeah.
Cura, that's
I've been practicing that one.
So, I mean, that's so different jumping behind the scenes. So like walk us through that process of, typically you're in the front, you're with the blood and all that.
Yes.
How is it being behind the camera of the directing and the producing?
Well, I love storytelling. I really love telling a story, and I'm used to saying I don't know. So it's easier for me to be in a place where I don't know things. So for me now, it's easy to be in front of the camera because I understand the entire world.
1000%.
And I'm like, what would it be to be, behind the cameras, like the unknown world, because it's part of my world too.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
making of the story, and then I'm like, let me see if I can write. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? And then I came up with like, what's the worst? And I couldn't find like the worst. Like nobody's gonna die, And then I wrote it, and I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. Okay, let me share it with people. They're like, oh, it's not that bad. I'm like, I know, right? So the being open to receive and to not know, and it's like I don't have a crystal ball that will tell me everything. So that will lead into producing and to directing, and I'm like, oh, I can direct actors. I didn't know that. So I think once you know to be in a place of, help yourself and help others, people right away will help you.
Totally.
Like nobody will let you go down. It's weird. This has been my experience when you kind of tell people, I don't know really what's gonna happen, but I can tell you that I'm gonna do my best. People are like, great, that's all I need to hear, and they just help you right back.
That's right.
And that's how writing, producing, and directing came to my world.
And that's why I feel like you've been so successful and been such a star, because you're willing to say, I don't know. You're authentic. And it's very rare to meet people like that in Los Angeles, or in general, that are just willing to be real, and for you to step out of your comfort zone and be like, you know what, I'm going to try something behind the camera.
When people realize that being real is really the success, I think it will shift everything around, because people have a very negative, way to look at reality, real. They think it's not good.
What is real?
What is real? Yeah. But when you kind of like, stay by yourself and you're like, okay, this is my reality, and you empower that, people will support it. I mean, but people that don't have a really good, they don't have a good vision of what's real. They're afraid of it. They're ashamed of it. But if they realize that the biggest success in the world is because they're real. I mean, Lady Gaga said, you're born a star. Like, just be real. Like, if you really see the people that actually unlock that, that's all they try to do. Tell everybody to be real. But it's up to us to kind of like take the step. And I think that's all it is.
I definitely agree with you, because hearing you speak and hearing you share your story, I think coming from Cuba, you had no other choice but to be real.
Of course.
Yeah.
No other choice. So it was kind of like sink or swim.
This is
I'm gonna
it.
do it. I'm going to fake it till I make it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, and I think that's the success that you've achieved to this date.
Yeah.
And what lays ahead for you is because of your willingness to ask questions and to show vulnerability. I think sitting and listening to you speak now, it's like you're such a powerhouse on that show. And it's nice to see the vulnerability in you right now, being like, it also shows that you're passionate and grateful for these opportunities.
Oh,
Because
yes.
it's like,
That's
you're
another
like,
thing. You got to
of
be
course,
grateful.
Gratitude is everything.
It's
but
every
like
day.
throwing yourself in a scenario and just being like, all right, I'm going to see.
Yeah. Let's see
I'm getting a shirt. I don't know.
see what's
I'm
going to
getting
happen.
shirts printed. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what it's like when that's life. Like even when women they get pregnant, they're like, I don't know what's like to be a mother. Well, you might as well just go for it because they have no
You
choice.
got 9 months, baby.
You got
You're
9
gonna
months,
see.
but then they really figure it out as they go. But if they just, it's really life. Like you don't, as long as you just take it, the unknown factor as a strength, not a weakness. I think that's really what matters. And another thing that I care about so much is the contribution. Like, okay, I don't know, but I'm gonna do my best. I don't know, but I'm gonna do everything I can right now to make whatever it is that needs to be done. So once you do your best and you focus on contribution, it's really what people care about too.
And speaking, because you said the unknown and not knowing the unknown, and being in LA and being an actress and keeping that longevity, it has such extreme highs sometimes and extreme lows, especially like when you're on off season or don't know if a season's going to be renewed.
Yes.
And that downtime, like what is it that keeps you motivated and keeps you to be able to be like, you know what, I'm here now, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Like what is your motivation Like, where are you
know,
at mentally?
What I've learned, I've been through highs and really lows too, and what I've learned is that Meryl Streep said one thing, actors, we are the most unemployed people in the world. Like, you get a job for a month and you're like happy, like a movie, right? And then you're unemployed again.
Yeah.
And then you get a show, you work for 3 months, 6 months, and hopefully they will get renewed, but then you're unemployed again. Actually, you're unemployed until they pick up your show again.
Exactly.
And that is not a natural way to look at life. Like, if you look out in the world, people go to work every day. It's like natural to feel stable. But this job, it's so unpredictable. It's the nature of it. So
Yeah.
I've realized about it, especially in the apocalypse, they can kill you anytime. And
True.
if they kill your character, you're dead. And guess what? You're unemployed. So it's
She's like, I'm dead, I'm unemployed.
well, you just live that every day, but that's the nature of this world. So what I do is, now that I learned that writing is an outlet, I still take ballet classes too.
Oh,
Yeah, because it feels good. It's now I work out and it reminds me of where I come from and everything.
Oh.
It's cool. So I just have outlets, like I write, I try to produce stuff, and I just surround myself with people that have similar mindset, and we just keep creating. We just don't wait for other people to decide, whether it's right or wrong. And when you free yourself from that pattern, things will really come too.
Love that.
You hit the nail on the head, because I always say that if you don't build your own opportunity, you spend the rest of your life building someone else's.
Oh yeah, of course. And then it's like, what's the point? I mean, might as well tell them to come to your door too.
Yes. Knock, knock.
Knock,
I'm
knock.
here,
I'm
baby.
here,
Let's
yeah.
go.
And guess what? I don't know.
I love that. I think the essence of what you're saying and the creating like your own tribe and creating like-mindedness. I was looking at your social media and even down to that, how do you find like the social component connecting with fans and followers and what have you? Because I feel like you're sharing little glimmers of yourself. I saw your fitness kind of thing, doing the Pilates and the yoga and the stretching and talking, but the way you write about it, it's like, oh, it's so fancy
fun.
and pathetic, and like it has like so much behind it. So how do you find that connect between how much you share and how much you don't share?
That's a good question. I try to focus on giving to the fans. I don't try to focus on what I have or the things that you could buy or whatever. I focus on, okay, this is my routine, let's share it, and this is how I think about it. Like, working out every day is difficult. Like, you don't wake up every day.
No.
Let me sip on that.
You don't
Cheers
It's hard, man.
Cheers to working out.
Oh, you work out.
I walk the dog. I may not stretch, but I walk the dog. That's working out.
The dog works out. Look, he's tired. You did good this morning.
Say?
So I think I focus